Was L actually real? Let's find out. As always, I'll be skipping over some of the really small and insignificant stuff, and the information on this video was provided by the cutting room floor. If you want to see some of the extra stuff I skipped over, then check it out, link for that will be in the description. Let's start off with some of the unused textures. This smiley face texture was supposed to appear on Lakitu's cloud, and to be honest, I'm glad it doesn't because it's a bit creepy. If you use cheat codes or hack, it is possible to see this metal wing texture in the game. As you would expect, it can be seen by wearing both the metal and wing cap at the same time. Unfortunately, in the final game, there are no stages that contain both a metal and wing cap box. Here's a chain that was likely used in Wiggler's cave. A texture that seems to depict stairs or iron. A shadow of a coin is in the files. It's a very poorly made circle. It is nearly identical to the coin used in the Shoshinkai 1995 demo of the game. It was likely intended to be used when the player has no coins, or if all of the coins have been collected in a certain stage. On the topic of the Shoshinkai 1995 demo, there's obviously a ton of differences in the footage here. The HUD, the textures. If I were to cover them all, we'd be here all day. I'll link some of the footage in the description so you can check it out for yourself. Next, a rocky texture. There are some unused Mario eyes where he seems to be looking all around. My favorite is the last set, it's like the eyes emoji. Kappa_I, they really spelled Koopa on the files. Yes, this is an early texture for Bowser's eyes. Initially they were blue rather than red. The blue eyes can be seen in the beta footage. A cactus. It's just a cactus. It probably would have been found in Shifting Sandland if I had to guess. In the Japanese version, there are some unused letters. J, Q, V, X, and Z. Because they are never used in any of the final text, they were cut from the American version to likely save space. However, V and Z were re-added to the PAL release. There's also more unused icons in the Japanese version. A percent, an ampersand, an exclamation mark, 2 exclamation marks, a question mark, and a key. The ones with the orange gradient and black outline were likely left in the files from the beta. The same text style can be seen in the beta footage. The key was kinda odd, but there was a use for it, which brings us into the next part of the video, the unused objects. As you can see, this boo looks completely different. To be honest, I prefer this version of the boo, but besides this, if you look inside, there's a key. The buoys were supposed to drop keys at one point, and the use for them is completely unknown. If I had to guess, maybe they were used to simply open the doors in the Haunted Mansion. There are also 3 color variants for the key. Besides the yellow one, there's a red one, a green one, and a blue one. Bird egg. For some reason, this bouncing Yoshi egg is referred to as a bird egg in the files. The use is also unknown. Unused bouncing flowers. Blarg. Yes, Blarg from Super Mario World was supposed to be found in Lethal Lava Land. It's completely untextured though, and has quite a few animations. There's even a code available to put him back into Lethal Lava Land on the NTSC-U version of the game. There's an unused behavior for fire that would circle around Mario, making it harder for the player to progress. Someone who worked on the decompilation of the game has speculated that it may be leftovers from a fishing boo enemy, like the ones found in Super Mario World. Unused behavior also exists for a small flame that bounces in a straight line and obviously hurts Mario if it touches him. It goes away if Bowser is near. There's also a strange unused behavior for the flames positioned inside the castle. It would cause 9 of them to spawn inside each other and move back and forth. These flames, for whatever reason, would not hurt Mario. An unused ice block that would release ice particles once ground pounded on. Remember those creepy skull boxes in Jolly Roger Bay? There's an unused behavior for them that causes them to float harmlessly in midair. You know how in Wet Dry World, if you jump into a specific horizontal section of the painting, it causes the water level to be different? Well, the paintings in the castle are also split vertically into 3 sections. However, there's obviously no use for this function throughout the game. There is an unused chest which doesn't shock Mario or emit numbers. It simply opens and releases a bubble. Just like the small bullies in Lethal Lava Land, there was also supposed to be small chill bullies in Snowman's Land. An unused trampoline was also found in the files. It was likely supposed to appear in the cap stage. Here's an unused sound effect. There was a yellow switch with a transparent yellow box. I'm very curious as to what this could have been used for. The cutting room floor believes that the boxes would have contained Koopa shells. Also, just like the bombs found in the Bowser levels, there were these slightly smaller versions that would appear underwater. Here's an unused Koopa shell and shoes with no detail in them at all. The big bullies were supposed to be entirely actual 3D objects, but I guess this is cut to reduce lag. Also, it wouldn't make sense for the big ones to be entirely 3D, but the small ones to be 2D. Or maybe at one point they were both going to be 3D. The heave-ho has these weird spherical geometries. It's likely that they were supposed to be the tires. They are huge in this screenshot because they weren't scaled properly. Just like the big bullies, they were turned into 2D sprites to make the game run better. Yet another 3D to 2D replacement was with the Goomba's body. There's also an unused Goomba head, an early test platform, 2 unused rolling rocks in HMC. Maybe the standard rock was supposed to break up into smaller ones like they do in Super Mario 64 DS. There is a Klepto holding a blue star. I'm very confused as to why this doesn't appear in the final game. In the final game, the star he holds is always yellow, even if you've already collected it. Once you trigger the star to appear, it will change color if you already obtained it. There's a larger, darker, and textureless variant of the penguin head that also has an orange beak. There is also supposed to be a penguin head with sad eyes that can be seen in a screenshot from the Shoshinkai 1995 demo. There's an unused block from TikTok Clock that has 3 vertical stripes rather than 2. These unused Koopa shells are in the files. There's a red and green version. They're completely non-functional. Lastly, some very weird unused platforms from the tower in Womp Fortress. Just like my Mario Kart 64 video, let's go over the debug code stuff fast. Ready? Here's a classic debug display. It can be accessed with these codes. Here's what the labels mean. Here's a more complex debug display that can be accessed by using these codes. A debug resource meter can be accessed with these codes. A debug feature that allows various objects to spawn that alter Mario's movement. It can be accessed with these codes while using the D-pad in game. A free movement mode. There's only codes for the 1.0 Japanese version and the NTSCU version, unfortunately. An older debug display. This one's even worse because there's only an NTSCU code for it. And lastly, a level select. This is probably the most famous one. It has that really ugly Super Mario title screen and the course names are all odd. Here's a chart showing what each one is. My favorite is Donkey Slide. It can be accessed by using these codes. There's a lot of extra info on these I'm going to skip over, but as mentioned earlier, if you want to check it out, link in the description. Unused animations. Let's start off with the Mario ones. An animation where Mario is bending his knees while standing on something, likely the Koopa shell. Mario spinning. Mario putting on his hat faster than normal. This one is supposed to represent nausea. It's pretty odd though. Mario just sitting, motionless. Lastly for the Mario ones, a weird side flip animation. The bullies have this unused kicking animation which can be seen in this laggy video. Mario was able to throw Mips at one point. The unused animation would show Mips bounce on the ground while recovering from a fall. There is an unused animation for the piranha plant showing its teeth as it sleeps. It can be seen in the Shoshinkai 1995 demo. Here's another laggy video showing an unused animation for the monkey. It appears to be falling or tackling. One of the unused level effects in the game was a blizzard. It would interact with Mario in the same way the normal snowflakes would. Here is some unused text from the Japanese version. Delicious cake. Huh. There was an unused boo taunt that would appear when Mario enters Big Boo's haunt for the first time. It can be viewed by using one of the following codes. There was an early level select that was used in the playable demo of the game at Shoshinkai 1995. Mountain was Womp Fortress, Fire Bubble was Lethal Lava Land, Snow Slide was Cool Cool Mountain, Waterland was Dire Dire Docks, and Bowser 1 was Bowser in the Dark World. There is an unused Shifting Sandland cutscene. What this is for is unknown. There are some normally unreachable coins in the game. Check out my all coins video. In Jolly Roger Bay, there was an unused ghost ship in the sky that would fade out as Mario gets closer to it. Very weird. Koopa the Quick has a red polygon on his head, which was likely supposed to be his mouth. Was he supposed to open it? There was an unused demo reel in the title screen that would show gameplay in Cool Cool Mountain. The smoke texture in the game is actually displayed incorrectly, a pretty weird mistake in the game. It was supposed to show up like this, not like this. I noticed that they corrected it in Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Saving the best for last, Luigi was supposed to be in Super Mario 64. Yes, L was real. This is what his model was supposed to look like. This was discovered very recently because of the huge Nintendo leaks that happened earlier in the year. There it is, the cut content of Super Mario 64. If you want to check out the version differences, link for that in the description. As always, thank you guys for watching this video. We are almost at 2K subs, which is very epic. I'll see you all soon in another video. Peace out. Oh yeah, sub if you enjoyed, by the way.